Okay. All right. Well, welcome everyone. I'm going to pull up my screen here. Screen sharing. Here we go. Okay. Everyone see my slide deck? Great.
Yeah, all good.
Okay, so good morning, everyone. My name is James Kesten. I am COVE's Director of Strategic Partnerships. Today, we're here to kind of go over COVE's Naval Technology Innovation Challenges that were just launched. With me today, I have a couple of gentlemen from Thales that are going to be diving into more detailed technical discussion on each of the projects. So I'll let you guys introduce yourself here.
Hi, my name is Bahaa Khaddaj, and I work for Thales as a digital solution designer.
Hi,
Francois?
my name is Francois Rioux, and I'm a digital champion at Thales. Happy to be here today.
Great. Just going to let a couple more people in that just joined in the last few minutes. Okay. Yeah, here we go. So, see if I can go to the next slide. So yeah, so today, as I said, we're going to be introducing the COVE challenges. Obviously, we want to thank the funders of the project. So Thales Canada and ACOA are the funders for the project. We're like very excited to be announcing these challenges and to be undergoing the project. The first challenge that we're going to be talking about today relates to condition-based maintenance, which uses digital twin technology to predict failures before they occur. And ideally, oh, we have more people joining, sorry. Ideally, these solutions increase ship availability, reduce costs, but that's not always the case. So the first challenge that we're going to talk about today is to both develop and test a methodology that can assess the technical and financial viability of different CBM solutions. Thales is also looking to extend its leadership role in digital dockyard transformation. So this is relating to the AEGIS program, which is the AOPS and JSS in-service support program, and looking at the Navy dockyards. So for the second challenge, we're going to be looking at utilizing the innovation and agility of small and medium businesses to propose innovative technologies that are going to digitize the Navy dockyards. So through the challenges, COVE and Thales Canada, we're hoping to propel the digital transformation of in-service support. And we're really excited to partner with Thales to offer these innovation challenges and identify Canadian SMEs that can develop, test, and hopefully deploy their solutions to the challenges to the benefit of our Navy. So as I mentioned, the applicants are going to be applying to solve technical challenges related to the AEGIS program. The AEGIS stands for Arctic Offshore Patrol Ship and Joint Support Ship in-Service Support Contract, which covers refit, repair, maintenance, training for the Royal Canadian Navy's new Arctic and offshore patrol ships and the joint support ships. This is the largest in-service support contract in Canadian history. So the successful companies will be awarded $175,000, which is, as I said, funded by Thales Canada and ACOA, and this will be paid out across milestones throughout the project, assuming those milestones are met, obviously. The proposed solutions cannot be higher than a TRL 7, which means basically innovation is going to be required throughout the process. And the companies will retain IP for any new innovations that are created, and Thales will be granted a license to use that technology going forward. So now to look at the challenges in more detail, I'm going to have, I think, Bahaa, you're going to go first with challenge 1. So I'll hand it over to you.
Awesome, thank you. Oh, I'm still seeing the challenges. Oh, thank you. So yeah, the first challenge is just to provide a methodology to evaluate the naval condition-based a naval condition-based maintenance solution for any naval system, subsystem, or equipment. The idea here is that there's many different ways to do condition-based maintenance, and some are more effective than others. So our hope is that if we had a methodology, we can evaluate solutions as they come in for varying pieces of equipment or systems. Next slide, please. So the requirements of the methodology. We're hoping, so the methodology should be able to assess things like legal context, financial responsibility, the current in-service support context, CBM warranty and/or service level agreements, security requirements, physical assessments, and CBM reporting requirements. And it should be able to do this for the stakeholder team that the CBM solutions proposed for. So this could be ship owner, ship operators, ship maintainers, original equipment manufacturers if needed. But yeah, so just to be able to evaluate like the solution as a whole and not just the components, I guess. Next slide, please. And also part of the requirements is the methodology should be able to compare like the value of the CBM solution relative to just replacing the entire system. If it's more costly to implement the CBM solution, then it's not as useful. It should also, improve on the legacy maintenance solution, and it should provide the end user with a go or no-go recommendation. And the hope is that the methodology will be able to test it on a particular Aegis use case and evaluate a condition-based maintenance solution with that methodology. Next slide, please. I think it's off to you, Francois, right?
Yep. All right, so the challenge number 2, it's entitled Digital Dockyard. So the goal is to provide innovation tools that will help in coordinating a Navy dockyard, ensuring that the activities are deconflicted, that the resources are optimally allocated while meeting the operational requirements. So when we talk about activities, there's a lot of things going on in a dockyard, in the Navy dockyard. So whether it's ship movements, radiations, man aloft, or diving activities. So some of those activities conflict with each other. So the goal of the digital dockyard is to be proactive in deconflicting those activities. And since the activities are driven by priorities, which are highly dynamic in nature, it's to be able to deconflict those activities in a proactive way. Next slide, please. Our goal here from the Thales perspective is to really play a leadership role in the digital transformation of the dockyard, more specifically in the context of Aegis. So at Thales, we're innovators. We want to transform the way business is done. So be more efficient, be digital, gather data, and learn from that data. So that's really our goal here from the Thales perspective. And how do we achieve that is by leveraging the unique expertise and velocity of startups and SMEs and all of their ecosystems. So we trust that those startups and SMEs with their expertise can help us in making it happen and eventually proposing such a solution to Aegis, which is a really, really important in-service support contract for Canada and for our Navy. Next slide, please. So the expected solutions is either existing solutions that can be configured / tailored for a digital Navy context, a Navy digital dockyard context. It can also be some developmental components, building blocks that can be integrated together as a solution to meet the end user needs. So again, a Navy digital dockyard needs. And the solution is expected to include some backend components, so components that integrate some disparate sources of data, augment that data, store the information, distribute the information to the end users, as well as a front end that will allow the users to collaborate and engage in the digital dockyard management. So a really intuitive front end is what is expected. And of course, the value prop is very important to document along the way. So the solution that we are developing will be compared against legacy dockyard management processes, which are mainly happening on paper at this point, paper, or whiteboard, or that sort of thing. So it's not very digital. So the goal is really to digitalize those processes so that the dockyard management is done much more efficiently, and ideally at less cost as well. So at a glance, that's what the challenge 2 is about.
Great. Thank you very much, Francois. So I'm going to just go quickly through the selection process now and what that's going to look like. So first off, big important question, who can apply? So the competition is open to commercial and non-commercial organizations that are registered to do business in Atlantic Canada. So companies that are registered in Atlantic Canada may apply on their own. Indigenous organizations and groups may also apply on their own. Other organizations such as post-secondary institutions, other for-profit or not-for-profit organizations may apply, but they must have a partnership with one of the first groups. So big important part of it is that one of the partners of the application must be registered to do business in Atlantic Canada. For each challenge, we have a separate selection panel. Each of them have 2 Thales representatives, 1 person from COVE, 1 from NRC IRAP, and then an industry expert. So for the CBM methodology challenge, we have Rod McMullen from Thales, Bahaa Khaddaj also from Thales, Michelle Leckman from COVE, Dean Pelly is an ITA with NRC IRAP, and then Jamie Sangster, CEO of Leeway Marine, is our industry expert. For the second challenge, Digital Dockyard, we have Peter Jeffries from Thales, Francois Rioux, who we met today, myself from COVE, Dean Pelly again, from an ITA with NRC IRAP, and then Erica Rogers from Geospectrum Technologies. So each application will be assessed by the panels. There's 3 sort of areas that we're going to be looking at. The first is the solution and impact of that solution. The second will be the capability of the company to complete the project. So that's in terms of expertise, of the people involved, and then the resourcing. Is there actual resources available to get the project over the finish line? And then the level of innovation that will take place, as well as the timeline for developing the product. So you can see on the right the weighting for each category that the scoring framework uses. So if you're putting an application in, you can kind of put emphasis where the value is most, which is going to be on actually expertise and resourcing and solution fit. Just keep those in mind as you're putting your applications together. Looking at the timeline for the project, obviously anyone who's here knows that the project launched last Monday, March 20th, and applications opened. So those applications will stay open until the end of next month. April 28th, they'll close, and then there'll be a 3-week period for the selection committees to review the applications and select a winner. At which point, the following Monday, we will announce the winner, and then there'll be a bit of time for contract development, and the implementation will happen starting in July for a 5-month project. And there'll be monthly project meetings with myself and with Thales as well to kind of go over the project as it develops. So as I mentioned earlier, there are project milestones. These are attached to the payments. So the first project milestone being fairly early on in the project. So that'll be a review of the project plan that the company is proposing, which will be presented to Thales, and Thales must approve of the direction of the project. The second being the submission of draft 1. So that'll obviously happen a little further on through that 5 months. and it must meet all of the solution requirements laid out in the technical challenge, and it must also include an implementation plan for actually integrating it into operations. The final milestone is the project closeout. This is where the final solution is presented and accepted as meeting all project requirements. And at that point, the license will be issued to Thales for using the technology. So if anyone's looking to apply, you can go, I guess you can follow this QR code, or you can go to challenges.coveocean.com. Feel free to reach out with any questions at challenges@coveocean.com. And we're happy to discuss sort of any questions that you have about the challenge or technical details, anything like that. Obviously, we have to make sure that we give everyone the same information, as it is a competitive challenge. But here now, if anyone has any questions and would like to raise their hand, we can have myself or Thales answer questions in the room. Thank you very much. Let's see if I have any questions in the participants. Doesn't look like it.
Just stand by. I do have a question.
Oh, sure. Yeah. In the chat. Okay.
Well, I guess if you heard me, then I guess I could ask it.
Feel free to ask. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Regarding the second challenge, digitization of the dockyards, is this system, if you might have already answered it, I came in a little bit late, but is the digitization of the dockyard, is it supposed to enhance MESIS or replace MESIS, or just what would the relationship be with MESIS?
Yeah, it's not meant to replace MESIS/DREAMIS, because on Aegis, I mean, Thales is responsible to deliver the tools used to perform the work. So it will necessarily integrate somehow with DREAMIS, whether it's by DREAMIS exporting some data or whatever, or people punching some data right into the tool, the solution. But it will definitely integrate with the Thales system. So we got an equivalent of DREAMIS on the Thales side, which is meant to manage the schedule, the planning of the activities. So it's more integrating with the Thales systems, and as much as possible with the Canada systems as well, if it's a possibility, because as you know, I mean, it's kind of difficult to integrate with MESIS/DREAMIS through a digital means. So yeah, it's a long-term goal, but for the purpose of this challenge, I mean, I don't think we'll get there, but definitely on the integrating with the Thales systems. Does that answer your question?
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, no problem.
Any other questions? Looks like no. Going once, going twice. Okay. Well, if anyone does have any questions, feel free to reach out at that email address you see on the screen there. Yeah, we're looking forward to seeing the applications come in. Obviously, as I said, open until end of next month. And yeah, please reach out with any questions to myself or through that website link there.
Okay.
With that, I guess I'll close the meeting up. Thanks everyone for your time, and
Thank you.
have a great day.
Thanks, James.
Thank you.
Thanks, James.
Thank you.